Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakodash, and all honors to the apostles and others of great millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, I am Noah Allah from German, Chicago, and I'm going to go ahead and go into this quick lesson about, Esau basically being a fugitive and a vagabond, alright? And you can see how Esau, what is like all over the news right now, right? So because supposedly, Hexeth, P. Hexeth, the Department of War, has ordered to send out a second strike, killing innocent civilians, all on a boat. And right now, what you're hearing on the news is that Trump and Hexeth are basically trying to act as if they have nothing to do with the second strike, all right? So this is basically showing you that Esau is being a fugitive and a vagabond. And what that is that it's a person fleeing from justice, basically, all right? But I'm going to play this video, alright? You can look at the videos yourself, but basically, Trump and Pete Hexeth are basically on the hot seat right now, alright? All their eyes are on them because of this situation where civilians got killed, basically, right? Fishermen on the boat. And like, again, it's all over the news, right? All eyes are on them right now.
Closed-door briefings, military leaders explain aerial strikes on a drug boat where survivors were struck and killed. A Republican calls it righteous, a Democrat troubling. An arrest in the Capitol pipe bomb case the night before January 6, 2020. President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth have been at times vague and halting. Hegseth even invoked fog of war as a cover for blurry details. That left Congress to call on military commanders for clarity about what happened on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela, when numerous U.S. military airstrikes hit a vessel carrying drugs, and in what fighting conditions survivors of the first strike were left in. Democrats and Republicans emerged after.
And it didn't seem like they were carrying drugs at all. It sounded like in some other videos, as other like news sources, as I was hearing, is that really they just killed fishermen. Right? They literally just killed civilians on that boat.
And agreed on three things.
But this is Esau's nature. All right. Esau, he's a murderer. Right. All right. Esau, he comes into a land, takes their resources and shit by violence. All right, because Esau's blessed with the sword. And you can see that Esau is basically using the sword against these smaller nations and shit, going into their country, taking the resources and declaring it as democracy or some shit like that.
Drugs were on the boat. The defense secretary did not say kill them all or issue a no-quarter order. Also, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, and Special Operations Commander Admiral Frank Bradley answered every question and retained bipartisan support and confidence. From there, opinions diverge. After watching video footage of the strikes, Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton met with reporters.
I want to thank Admiral Bradley and General Kane for coming to brief about.
But nonetheless, they're on the hot seat right now, all right? It seems as if they're trying to wave this problem off, saying that nothing really happened and shit. They have nothing to do with the second strike at all. But I'm just going ahead and hit to the scriptures, right? Because this is what Esau has been doing for many years, right? Especially against us, right? Especially against us, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Esau has been oppressing you the longest. But it says, it's going to the story of Cain and Abel, all right, that Cain, slew his brother Abel, all right, but I'm going to start with verse 12. It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And that is what Esau is basically. Alright, a fugitive and a vagabond, a person who flees from justice. Alright? And that's what you're kind of seeing right now in this situation, alright? But this is what Esau has been doing, alright, for many years. Alright, he takes them by violence. It says Micah 2:2. It says, and they covet. Actually, I'm going to start with Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, when the morning is like to practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And that's right. Esau has been working evil upon their beds, right? They search out iniquities. They devise evil schemes and shit, especially against our people for many decades and for many years and shit, thousands of years. But it says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power in their hand. And that's right. Esau's blessed with the sword. All right, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. All right, Esau's in rulership right now. He is the one that is basically making up all the violence all around the earth by the way of his sword. All right, it says verse 2, and they cover fields and take them by violence. And this is what Esau does a lot. Going to the story of the Trail of Tears. All right, when Esau came into the Americas and shit, and he starts putting our people into captivity. Alright, hard bondage and shit. Alright, Esau stealing people's lands and shit, taking them by violence. It says, and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house and even a man in his heritage. And they, this is the nature of Esau. Alright, he rob, steal, kills, and rapes. Alright, he's an imposter. He takes your heritage and displays it as if it's like it's his. Revelations 6:6. I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "Oh, Salak, what the fuck? The red horse." Oh, yeah. Revelation 6:4 says, and there went out another horse that was red. And this is speaking about, Esau. Right, the red, that horse, basically symbolizing as something as, power. Alright. The horse symbolizes as power, strength. And it says horse that was red. Because, hey, you understand that Esau's in rulership right now, alright? He's in power right now, alright? And that word red goes into the Hebrew word Adam. Alright, Adam, which, is basically red. Edom. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And this is what Esau does. Alright? That is in his nature. He takes peace from the earth. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And yeah, this is exactly speaking about Esau, because Esau is blessed with the sword. Alright, he takes peace from the earth. And that's what you're currently seeing right now. Basically right now. Right, Esau is provoking Venezuela to war. Right, Esau has his military snatching up our people right off the streets and arresting them and deporting them, and hey, even torturing them in them camps right now. Right, putting them in uncomfortable conditions and shit in them cells and shit. You know what I mean? Because Esau don't really give a fuck about you, Jake. All right, Esau is, at the end of the day, is not for you, Jake. All right, the Lord put the spirit on Esau. Right, the Lord is using Esau as a whipping stick against you Israelites. You two-thirds of Israel. But hey, at the end of the day, right, all the shit that Esau has done, to our people, eventually he's gonna have to pay. All right, and his time was almost up. But here is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. It says, "And that which had been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua required that which is past." And that's right. All the shit that Esau has done to our people, right, the Lord required that which has passed. Alright? All the shit that Esau has done to our people, oppressing them, putting us into captivity, right? Torturing the shit out of us, basically. Hey, Esau's gonna have to pay double for that. And that's exactly what's about to happen. Obadiah 1:10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." And that time is coming real soon. All right. Right after when Babylon the Great gets destroyed, right? Esau is basically going to be going into slavery, all right, underneath us. All right, we're gonna be ruling over these heathen nations, and especially Esau. All right, putting Esau into 1,000 years of slavery, and by the end of that, we're going to exterminate Esau. All right, cutting off Esau for good. But here is Obadiah 1:15. It says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, thy reward shall return upon thy own head." That's right. That time is coming real soon. Against all these heathen nations, alright, and especially Esau. All the shit that they have done to us, hey, it's gonna backfire on them real soon. "For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions." That's right. These heathen nations they're not gonna go out free. They're not gonna go out free of charge. Or these heathen nations in Esau, they got a lot to pay for. And here, it says, "Upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. There shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess the possessions." And hey, we're patiently waiting for that. Alright? Verse 18, it says, "The house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it." And that's right. After Esau goes through his 1,000 years of slavery, all right, we're going to round them up, and we're going to incinerate them, right, by fire. It tells you that, "And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau." So that's right, they're going to be exterminated. All right. It says Revelation 13:10. It says, "And he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the faith of the saints. And yeah, you know, that is what is going to happen real soon. Alright? It's pretty straightforward. You know, all these heathen nations, especially Esau, alright, they had the chance to put us in slavery. But it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So what does that tell you? That's right. These heathen nations in Esau, alright, they're going to go into captivity real soon. And they're going to be, basically, you know, Israel is going to rule over them. Right? Us, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're about to have slaves. Right? We're about to have slaves in the kingdom. These heathen nations in Esau, they're going to be underneath us. Right? And that's a good thing right there. But nonetheless, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.